I see change.
Alright, bottles on me, long as someone drink it, never drop the ball. Fuck it, y'all.
Alright, hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the next episode of the 2017-2018 team previews. Next up, we have the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings had a really underwhelming season last year with 33 wins, 79 points. They're an aging group who has some good young spots in the team. So let's go over the team. So the first line, they're projected up to Tatar, Zetterberg, Nyquist. Tatar, signed his new contract. He's a potential 25 goal scorer, 30 goal scorer on a really good year. And, Zetterberg, obviously, he's 36 years old. He's getting older every single year, every single day. And, Zetterberg, he still had a really good year. Last year, he played 82 games. I think he had 60 points around there. And, I think this is his last year being a top 6 center because, I think age is going to start to kick in next year. But Zetterberg, Tatar, and then on the right wing, they have Gustav Nyquist, who had a really underwhelming year. They really need Nyquist to bounce back strong because Nyquist can score 25 goals, but, last year he had a really, really down year. You'll find that for a lot of Red Wings players that I mentioned on this roster. So second line, they have Abdelkader, Nielsen, and Larkin, and all three of those guys had down years. Abdelkader, they overpaid $4.25 million. They thought he'd have, they thought he had one good year, and they thought he'd continue that, but he didn't, and he got worse. He regressed a lot. Frans Nielsen, they signed as a free agent. He played okay, I guess, but not what they wanted him, not how they wanted him to play. Give him a $5.25 million deal. And then Larkin, obviously, some people say he just had sophomore slump, but Larkin really needs to bounce back because he could be a potential 30-goal scorer, and they need him to, score at least 25 goals. And, Larkin has that potential, and he's kind of the main guy in Detroit. He's like the future, so they really need Larkin to have a really good year. And, yeah, so third line, they have Darren Helm, Riley Shannon, and Anthony Mantha. Darren Helm, obviously, he's getting older. He's okay, but he had a really bad year also. $3.85 million a year is just too much. And the center, Riley Shannon, who had 2 goals, and those 2 goals both came in the last game of the season. So he went 81 games without scoring a goal. He really had a down year. Shannon, some people thought he could potentially be a second-line center if he played really, really well, but he just didn't play very well. And Anthony Mantha, who had a really good year, one of the only players on the Red Wings who had a really good year. Mantha, like Larkin, is the young right winger who can, end up being a top 6 winger. They really need him to live up to his potential. And on the fourth line, Andreas Athanasiou, who could easily move up and move down Abdelkader or Helm. I don't think he'll actually play on the fourth line the whole entire year. I think he'll move to the third line, second line a little bit. So, obviously, he's only 23 years old. He's a really good player, and he definitely has a bright future, and I can't see him staying on the fourth line. Luke Glendening, serviceable depth player, and then Martin Frick, who's FRK. I don't know how to say that last name. Defenseman, Danny DeKeyser, Mike Green. It's not your ideal top 2. DeKeyser, Green's not what he used to be. He's still a good defenseman, but I don't know if he's top 2. DeKeyser, I see him as a really good top 4 defenseman. I don't really see him as a top 2 defenseman. Some of you might. Nicholas Kronwall, who's 36 years old, and Jonathan Ericsson. Jonathan Ericsson, $4.25 million a year, isn't very pretty. And then the top 6, they have Ouellette, who's actually a really good defenseman, and Trevor Daley, who they just signed. Daley, I can't see him playing top 6 because when he signed with the Red Wings, one of the things they said to him, they said if he signed with them, they'd give him good ice time. So I can't see him playing top 6. I think Daley will move Ericsson down and he'll play top 4, power play, stuff like that with Mike Green. And then goalies, obviously, Howard and Mrazek, which is an interesting situation because the Red Wings left Mrazek exposed because apparently he had attitude issues. And but Howard, he's not amazing, but he had a really good stretch in the season where he looked like an elite goalie. So it's going to be tough, but I think Mrazek will win the job. I think they'll start with Howard, and then they'll kind of go back and forth. I think at the end of the year, Mrazek will be the main guy in Detroit. And then obviously extra players, they have Evgeny Svechnikov, who's he's like a Dylan Larkin to the Red Wings. He's another part of the future, like the Datsuk Zetterberg. It's like new ages like Larkin, Svechnikov, if that works out to plan. He's 20 years old. I think he should play in the AHL one more year, Svechnikov. And then, because, playing on the team this year won't really help him because I don't think the Red Wings are going to be very good this year. So another year in the AHL won't hurt. And they also got Bertuzzi, second round pick, who's only 22 years old. He's also really good. And then Nick Jensen, who will be the 7th defenseman. So the Red Wings have, especially their defense, they have tons of, here's the defenseman ages. 27, 31, 36, 33, 33, 24. So Their defense is extremely old, and their forwards are pretty old also. A lot of bad contracts. The Red Wings honestly need to trade their bad contracts and their old players and, just continue the rebuild, because if they keep trying to fight for the playoffs. I mean, the Nielsen signing, I understand they want to stay competitive, but I don't know if that was the right move. I mean, here's the thing. They're kind of in the no man's land. Like, when you're in the middle of the league, like they are, I mean, they weren't in the middle of the league, but they weren't at the very, very bottom. So, like, they're not getting amazing draft picks. They're getting okay draft picks, but they're not competitive. So I think they need to just tank and just do really, really bad so they can get a good draft pick, because they need one more star. Because if you look at their prospects, they have, Nekvis isn't really a prospect, but he's younger. Same with Tatar, Larkin, Svechnikov, Athanasiou. They're all wingers, so they need that one center. I know they drafted, I forget who they drafted this year, but anyways, the Red Wings, they're improving. And we'll see how they do this year. I can't see them doing much better than this year. I think they might do a little bit worse, probably around the same. But the team, they have some young spots, a lot of old guys though. Let me know what you think the Red Wings are gonna do in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.